Good morning, everyone. Well, I'm here and it works, so that's good, isn't it? If you were here Friday, you will have noticed that it was me instead of the proper cameras because I was having trouble connecting my camera, but all is well. So good morning, everyone. Jenny, Sarah, June, Anne, Sandra, Catherine, Valerie, Fiona, Shirley. Hello, Shirley. Hi, Di, Jenny. Oh, lovely, lovely, Pat. Lovely to see you all here today. And I am going to be doing revisiting. So that's what we do on a Wednesday, really. Revisiting older dies that we've had and showing you a bit of a twist with some of them and making them into something just a little bit different. So today we are going to be working with the peony die. We also have got some of the nesting, press cut nesting ovals to work with. And some flower foam because we haven't done foam for a little while. So I'm doing the peony flower, but I'm going to do that in a minute. I'm going to show you how to make the box that we want to do first. So I'm going to put that to one side for just a moment. Over here, out of the way. So I'm going to make a little box first. So first of all, before I start making the box, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody that came to John's workshops with me down here in the south of England at the weekend. We had a fantastic time. It was really, really good. It was lovely to get back to some sort of normality, if one could call it that, despite the fact that things weren't normal, but it was really lovely and we had a fantastic couple of days. And I think I would say for everybody that we also everyone else thought the same, so that was really good. So without further ado, let us get on. So a different sort of a box. Not sure if I've made it with you before, so we are going to do such a thing. I've got a piece of card here. It's a piece of moss green linen card, and it is 5.5 inches by 8 inches. Now, I'm sorry that I haven't got this one in centimetres, but it's quite easy to work it out anyway if you did want to do such a thing. So I've already cut that piece, 5.5 down here, 8 along there. So you could get 2 of these boxes out of an A4 piece, so it's quite good like that. I've got my Fiscus trimmer here, and I've got, therefore, the cutter, the orange one, and the scorer. So I've already done all my cutting, so I'm just going to take that out by just popping that down to the bottom of my trimmer and just lifting that out. So I'm going to put that to one side. Now, you could do it both the same ways, as we know, but unfortunately I am likely to cut the whole thing in half by leaving that on, so I'm not going to do it, just to be on the safe side. So along my long edge, I need to do some scoring first of all. And so I'm going to start off with a 1 inch score. So I take the end of my piece of card to the 1 inch mark on my trimmer and pop that into place, holding that down. And I will just score that at 1 inch. Then I move it along so that the end of my piece of card is at 3.5 inches. And score there. Move it along again so that the edge is at 4.5, and finally right along so that the final edge is at 7 inches, and mark there. Then I'm going to turn it around, so I'm now on my short edge, and again I'm going to measure it at 1 inch. Let's make sure I've got that straight along there. 1 inch there. And then at 4.5 inches along there. Okay, so don't need this bit anymore. Pop that to one side. So I've now got my piece of card all not folded at all, but all scored. So we're okay with that. So I'm going to get now my scissors, and I'm just going to cut along the score lines along my edges, just so all the little score lines just down to that first long edge all the way along. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 places along each edge. Turn that round, and 4 along here as well. So just up to that edge, like so. Then I'm going to score all of my lines just to make sure that they're all, I'm going to score them all in the same way. So just making sure that they're all a little bit crisp, and then turn that around, and all of these ones here. So this little box is going to be ideal in the winter time now, or coming up to that now, isn't it? If you're thinking of Christmas. I know we shouldn't say it, but it's only 10 weeks, you know, or so my dad told me this morning it was anyway. So it's, you know, lots of planning and things. But these make a really lovely little holder for a gift card. So something a bit extra special. And it's not just as if you said, oh, we'll just give you a gift card this year. It's just a little bit something extra. So now you could use your double-sided strong tape, your red tape, but I'm going to use my glue glaze because that does grab very quickly, and I just know how much you enjoy watching me take the red tape off. So I'm just going to disappoint you with that, and I'm going to just pop a little bit of glue glaze onto the edge of those bits there, first and foremost. And they are going to, so I'm going to start at the bottom basically, and they are just going to go, just going to marry the corners up, making sure that they're as straight as possible. So that's the first 2. Then I'm going to come down to the next 2. I'm going to sort of push them in so that I can just grab that. As you can see, I really don't need to put very much glue on here at all, but it just grabs. And so it's perfect for this sort of thing. And so I'm going to fold that over. And again, just making sure that that's at a nice right angle there on that corner. And also on that corner. So we've already got our little box there. And then finally, our little tabs here are going to go in as well. So we will be all sorted. So I hope everybody is doing okay. I can see that we've had so many operations cancelled and that. I know from quite a few people that that's happening. It's just dreadful. The stress of it all is just dreadful. So my thoughts are with you all on that. And let's just hope that, oh gosh, whatever is normal, eh? Whenever will normal be back to normal? I don't know. So I digress. I've just popped those so that that's nice and neat on the inside there. And then my box folds over like so. Okay. Now, ordinarily, I would probably be putting my little circle punch in here to give me something to be able to pick it, to open it with. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to do something a little bit different. So I've taken my press cut stitch dot circle ovals, and I've cut 2 of those, and I've also cut 2 of my plain oval nesting dies, which sort of come one in on the other there. And I'm just going to stick these down so that I've got that on the edge. It gives it a really pretty little edge, if you can see that. Can you see that little pretty edge here? So that's that one. And that's that one. So 2 cut from a random piece of paper, but with a greeny yellowy tinge to it. So my box is going to sit on this one. So I'm not going to put it so that the box goes like that, because we're looking at that part of it. So they're both going to be facing the same way. Our lid and our top are both facing the same way. So I'm going to put glue onto the bottom of my box. And I'm going to just, as much as possible, hover that over the top of my oval so that I can just about, just put my finger in there to push that down. I can then see that that's all going to sit on there nicely. Then I'm going to shut my box lid like that, and I'm going to put glue on the top of my box lid. Then I'm going to take my top piece and I'm going to have to get my head in the way, really, or pull it down a minute so that I can actually see, because I want my top oval to be absolutely over the top of the one at the bottom. Yeah, if you see what I mean. Just hold that up. Yeah, so that when I lift it up, I can actually only see that one at the top, rather than the one that's poking out down the bottom. Now I'm going to leave that for a second because it needs to grab a little bit. I don't want to keep mucking it about, otherwise the top might come off. But the idea will be that the whole thing will open and close without having to have a little opening there. But you can do it if you wish. So I'm going to put that to one side because that's my box already done. Now that didn't take very long, did it? I know I had already cut it out, but it didn't take very long at all. So now let's bring in our peony die. Now the peony die was actually made to use with the flower moulding foam. And I've already cut it out here first with the card. So this is with ordinary linen card in the sort of lemony colour. And I will attempt to make a flower with it, but it's going to be a really different flower because it will look very, very different from the other one. So I'm just taking the corners, taking the petals, and I'm just sort of breaking the fibres with my nails, really, and just pulling that up. Could do it with a bone folder, actually. Yeah, that would be better. So just breaking the fibres so that it pulls up like that. And it was designed so that that one sits into the middle there. And then we've got this one as well. So same thing, making sure that I'm holding that centre bit to give it some, because I'm actually using a lot of pressure with the bone folder. And then the last little one. I wouldn't want it to break if I can help it. I mean, there is a lot more strength in a card one, but quite a different flower, as I'm sure you will see. So I'm just going to pop these layers together. So a little dab of glue in the middle, offsetting the petals so that they are in a bit of a pattern. And that one there. And then finally the one in the middle. So I have actually, to be fair, I have actually only cut out one of the plates of this. And if you wished to make it look more flouncy sort of thing, you would perhaps want to do more. But that's your very basic. So that's just using the 4 petals that come with it. So that is pretty, very pretty. And you could have done a bit more with a bit more of a colour. But let's use the flower foam and see what you think about the difference. I'm going to put that one over there to be drying. So I've taken one of the coloured sheets of this and I'm folding it in half. So it's an A4, folding it in half and then folding it in half again. So I will get 4 of my peony in there. So I'm popping that onto the top there. And although it looks as if that's really thick, it will squash down to nothing virtually. So I can quite happily put that through with the same sandwich on my machine as I would have done if it had been an ordinary piece of card. Just run that through and you will get 4 all in one go. So there's 4 cut out, you can see on the other side, all in one go, but they will be stacked and you'll have to peel them apart. So that's now the rubbish. So I've got loads to make here now. Put my peony die to one side. So I'm going to peel off a couple of these. I think we will go 3 of those, I reckon. Put that to one side. And a couple of these. And a couple of the small ones. So I've certainly got enough to make a really flouncy bouncy, that's such a thing, peony, or 2. More if you wanted to, if you wanted them to be not quite so many petals and things, so many layers. So with this foam, this is not Foamarian, which is something that you heat up with an iron or something like that. These are, they will, in the mould of your hand, the heat of your hand, that they will be perfect to be able to use. Now you could put some different coloured inks around the edges and everything. That looks really pretty. But today I'm actually just going to show you how to make your flower up. And I'm going to use one of the stamens as well. So there's lots of different choices there. So first of all, I'm just going to go around each of the petals and I'm going to pull fairly hard. If you have got sharp nails, this is when they tend to go through the thing if you're not careful. But I'm just going to ease the petals so that they're a bit bigger than they were to start off with. So I'm just going to do that. Okay. So just easing these around. Okay. As I said, peony is an older flower. It's been out about 2 years-ish, maybe. I don't know. Is it 2? Do you know, it might even be longer than that because I just don't know where the time goes, really. Do you? But yeah, something like that. So that's my larger one. I'm just going to do the next ones down. Some of the flowers in the John Next Door range lend themselves better to foam than others. And this one, as I said, was specifically made with foam flowers in mind. And if you look over on the John Next Door YouTube's channel, you will see where he makes them into a folded rose. With the folded rose, he makes it into it, which is beautiful. But just as beautiful with this one as well. So just gently pulling these apart. And then I was being gentle, but then I'm going to give it some welly then. So just pulling those apart. Okay, so you can see already from these ones that they're already a bit different shape. So then I'm going to get hold of this and I'm going to fold one petal onto another petal. And I'm going to secure it by holding down at the weakest part, which is the middle of the flower, and I'm simply going to twist it. And hopefully you can see that I am really twisting it. I'm not being very gentle and I'm pushing quite hard so that it all rolls up like this. And then when I open it, we've gone from that to this. So we're again changing it very much so. So now that's what we do with each petal. So we fold one petal onto another, we secure it where it's the weakest in the middle, and then just give it a really good old twist. Just a bit of a squash and a squeeze, and then very carefully pull that out there. So I'm just going to do these here. Just thinking that there are some of the metal shims that we've been looking out for coming up. They will be delivered to me later today, so they'll be going up on the website shortly. Any of the shims that we've had, they are the Class 2 ones, which are much more kinder to the operator, because some of the other ones can almost slice your fingers off, but these ones have got a beveled edge and they are due to me any minute. In fact, the door may well go, so staff's got another day off. So if it does go, I shall have to go just to get that, but don't worry, I will return. So just folding all this up. I find flowers really therapeutic to make, which is potentially a little bit sad, but I really do. I know they could be fiddly, but I just love them. I can't say that I would love doing the Fomarian ones where you have to do it with the heat of the iron, because I swear to goodness that I would have burnt fingers or something, or leave it on, or I don't know. It wouldn't be safe in my hands, but these I can cope with. So twisting and turning and really squashing them all up. And as you can see, from what we had to what we've now got, hugely different. I'm then going to take myself one of the lemon stamens. I'm going to take that bit off. And we are going to start with the smallest one. And I'm just going to, with my actual wire from the stamens, just push through. It's quite simple to do. Just pushing through like that. Okay, and I'm going to turn my glue gun on and then start putting the layers on. So next I'm going for my second small one, and I'm going to try my best to offset the petals as we did, so that they were offset, but I'm going to pop a little bit before I do that. I'm going to squeeze a little bit of my glue, she says, onto that bit there, and then just sort of pull that up so that I'm not touching that bit of glue that was there. I don't want to get burnt, but I'm encouraging it to come around the actual stamens. Then I'm going to go down to my next size. I'm just popping that, pushing that through. Another little bit of glue on there, and again, as usual, more glue on my fingers than I have on the flower itself. Try to offset a little bit as I pull it up, the stamen, the petals. Okay. Then the next one. As I say, you can make as many layers or what of this, whatever you feel inclined, really. It is down to the individual as to how many layers you like doing. The more layers, the sort of flouncier the flower would be. Okay. Then I'm going with my last three, which are all one size, and they are the largest of them. So again, whoops, mopping the glue in, and just check as you're coming up that the flower, if you would need to put it in another place, I need some petals down here now, so I'm going to just move that over so that we need the flowers there. So let me just pop the glue on. That's that. And one more piece. And again, as many or as little as you like, but the fuller the flower, I think it just looks pretty. And I think I should pop that into there. So last bit of glue. And you could use ordinary glue for this, but I do find that the glue gun is much better for being able to sort of mould these better there. So let us just bring, I know I haven't got a stamen in there, but look at the difference of doing it with the flower foam as opposed to the card with this particular dye. Now, as I said, if you were using the cornflower dye or some of the smaller petals, you wouldn't get such a difference, but you really do get a difference with this. It is a massive difference. But I do think, I know I say it myself, and maybe I make it look easier, but I do think that I didn't do anything spectacular with that, just twisted it, turned it. No more spectacular than using the bone folder, I couldn't think what it's called, on there. And if you'd have seen just that with a stamen in the middle, you would have thought, oh, that's really pretty. But I just think that's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. So I'm now going to get my box back here, and I'm going to pop some glue. I'm going to chop, first of all, I'm going to chop my stamen bit off and fold that over. I am going to have to get some foliage though, because I can't be doing with just that. So hold on a minute. You know what I'm like, and I look at it and then I think, yeah. So I'm just going to get out my what do we call this one? Leafy Flourish. I use it such a lot. But I can't be doing with just letting you see it like that. So let me just finish this off. Oops. Switch that through. My all-time favourite flourish is this. But they just give that little extra bit in a fancy sort of way, when we're not having to say it's looking like a Christmas one or not a Christmas one or whatever. Just leave me alone, I'm all right. Just sitting here talking to myself. No, I know you're all out there as well. Well, I've got to do it. I've got to finish it. It's no good. It's no good. It's just got to have that extra little bit. I mean, it would look all right without. Look even better with. So, take out these little bits. You can see I only just thought of that, can't you? Because I would have had it prepped otherwise, and I haven't. So I will be back on Friday, 10 o'clock, for Fancy Fold Friday or Fancy Friday, whatever it is. So you will get to see that, whatever we do with that. So I'm just going to, so I've used the same colour, the same moss green, just putting the glue on these pieces only, just letting them find their own way. I always like and think that that looks far more realistic. Just folding them over in the corner there. And then with my glue gun, putting some glue onto the back of my, turn that off now, onto the back of my foam and just pressing that down into there, just waiting for it to grab a second. That's it. And then I can put my flower back in. I could add some words down here, but actually my paper has already got words on. So, but I could have on there happy birthday or whatever. And then the idea is that that then opens, as I said, normally if I have a box, I would be putting a little half circle in there so that I can open it. But because we've actually, the lid more or less opens it, and you can see I've got a little gift card there that fits in there perfectly, and a little bit of perhaps tissue or something on the top so that's a surprise. I mean, you can always hope for that diamond ring in there, but you know, That is a bit hopeful. But as I said, if you were thinking, I don't know what to do, I'm going to give everybody gift cards this year because I can't get out shopping, I can't do anything, I can just get my gift cards, but you would still like to have done something a little bit special, why not make this lovely little box that takes, even with the top and bottom of the lid, it only takes less than 2 sheets of A4 card, even cutting out, that includes cutting out the embellishments there. 1 sheet of foam will cut you 2 flowers anyway, little bit of stamens, and there you go. I better take that out because otherwise it has still got money on it and I don't want to think, what on earth have I done with that? But now you know what you could do with it. Okay. So I hope you like my little box. I've no idea what we're going to call it apart from a little box. But yeah, it is pretty. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. So that is it for today. I will be putting, what I'll do when I put the video up on the YouTube channel, I will at bottom of it write down the measurements for the inner box so that you can make that box yourself. It is just the right size, as you saw, to take a credit card, gift card type of thing. You could always roll something up and put that in there as well, of course. You could always put a gift card in there from the Maximum Craft website, actually, come to think of it, but you would have to cut that down and fold it to put in there because that's a printable one. So there you go. Anyway, I digress. I will put all the instructions on there for the measurements so that you can make them. And for the lid, you could make any different size or shape. That is nothing, you know, any die that you have, as long as it covers the whole of, so that you can't see that box underneath it. So that's the whole idea. Okay, so thank you very much for watching. I'm glad you like it. That's good. It's nice to see so many people say they like it. Thank you, everybody. That's really sweet of you. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to leave a comment at the bottom when it goes live up onto the YouTube channel. And I'll see you back on Friday morning at 10 o'clock for Fancy Friday. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, everybody. I know you will. I'm talking to the converted because you all will stay safe. It's all the others, isn't it? But let's just us stay safe anyway. And I'll see you on Friday. Take care then. Thanks. Bye.